I am Jerry Azuma, and this is To The Points, focused on primetime NFL matchup previews and bets. All right, guys, the NFL WildCard Saturday doubleheader. First up, the Chargers are at the Texans. Houston is a 3-point dog, and the total is at 42.5 points. Jim Harbaugh's first year with the Chargers has been highly successful. They're rolling into this playoff matchup with 3 straight wins, and Herbert and the offense have been highly productive, scoring 34-plus points over the last 3. Now, make no mistake about it, D'Amico Ryans, he will have his dogs ready, especially on the defensive side of the football. They are fast-flowing and an aggressive bunch. They create takeaways, and they get off the football field on third down, and the bonus is they're really solid against the run. Now, the trenches is where the best matchups will happen. The Texans will have Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. bending that edge, and the Chargers will have Rashawn Slater and rookie Joe Alt holding down that fort. Now, on the flip, C.J. Stroud slipped a little bit after having an incredible rookie campaign due to teams being better prepared at what he can do. But make no mistake about it, he knows how to be highly productive, and he finds playmakers like Nico Collins. Look for Joe Mixon to see high volume to take pressure off of Stroud. Damian Pierce has been a nice second option who can see a lot of action also. The challenge is that the Chargers defense is rolling something serious. They are extremely stingy when it comes to giving up points and on third downs. Khalil Mack, he will be disruptive, so the Texans have to be aware of him at all times. Bosa will be on the other side of Mack, and he is a high motor type of guy. He's going to be running around at 100 miles an hour all game long. Henley is a high-volume tackling machine, and on the back end, they have playmakers in Derwin James and Tarheeb Steele. Every level of this defense has ballers. Now let's get right to the points. Ladd McConkey is Herbert's go-to guy. He should see high volume. Put some change on him going over 65 receiving yards. I also like Joe Mixon for an anytime touchdown. Now, in the end, Justin Herbert is playing at a high level, and I like the creativity on the offensive side of the ball. They can take advantage of the Texans, especially in the red zone. I trust that the Chargers defense won't break, and Mack and Bosa will be disruptive up front, putting Stroud in some very difficult situations. I'm fading the Chargers and the points on the road. All right, guys. Next up, we have the Steelers traveling to Baltimore to see the Ravens. Baltimore is currently a 9.5-point favorite. The total is at 43.5 points. Now, first and foremost, John Harbaugh confirmed that Zay Flowers will be out for this game. That is one explosive weapon lost for the Ravens. But anyway, you have 2 solid coaches that will have their teams well prepared to face off. Just look at the last 4 games heading into this matchup. Baltimore is riding on a 4-game win streak, and the Steelers are on a 4-game losing streak. Now, I know it's the playoffs and anything can happen, but it doesn't look that great for the Steelers right now. Even though the Ravens will be without Flowers, they still have other playmakers that Lamar Jackson can be explosive with in Mark Andrews and Rashard Bateman. I say it all the time. Rule number 1 is stop the run, and the Steelers have to figure out not only how to stop Derrick Henry, but Lamar Jackson. Now, the Ravens can kill you on the ground with these 2 dynamic players, and it forces teams to put guys into the box to try to slow that down. The last time these teams saw each other was in December. King Henry had 162 rushing yards. So look for the Ravens to come out early and try to do the exact same thing with running the football and controlling that clock early. Once that run game is established, then they will work in that play-action pass to test the Steelers' secondary, especially on intermediate routes. Now, the Ravens put up big points led by the brilliant play of Lamar Jackson, who has the best QBR in the NFL. He's hard to sack, and in my opinion, he's the MVP. Now, I wish the Steelers' defensive line best of luck to slow this offense down. Now, on the flip, the Steelers' offense hasn't been clicking. Russell hasn't been really effective, and he's not cooking. George Pickens has been dropping balls and catching attitudes. And overall, the Steelers have just been slow to start games, scoring under 18 points in the last 4 games. Now, this has to change immediately to have a chance to keep this game close. But this won't be easy because the Baltimore defense is well balanced on every level. They are also holding teams under 18 points in the last 4 games, and they create takeaways. Another negative for the Steelers is that their offensive line is vulnerable to giving up sacks. Even though the Ravens do not have a high blitz rate, they win their one-on-one matchups and they meet the quarterback in the face. Overall, this might be a very difficult night for the Steelers. Now, what they need to do is try to establish some type of a run with Warren and Harris. But the Ravens are great against the run, like number 1 in the NFL against the run. Okay, let's just get right to the points. I'm going heavy on Derrick Henry. Put some change on him going over 20 carries for over 97 yards and an anytime touchdown. The spread is a lot of points, but Tomlin is usually solid against it. but I'm fading Baltimore at home to win and cover. All right, guys, this has been To The Points. Thank you for listening, and make sure to follow.